This time on the Gadget Show, smartphones.
Here we go.
Yes, smartphones. And we want to know whether they are, well, smart.
Susie and I go head-to-head in a series of challenges to find out if a smartphone is really the only gadget you actually need.
I get my skates on to bring you the best wheels on the bottom of shoes type gadgetry available.
And I join some magnificent men in some awesome flying machines in order to test the best of the best high-def consumer camcorders.
Why do I agree to do these things?
Hello and welcome to the Gadget Show.
Yeah, and in this week's challenge, it's all about Susie and Otis. In fact, I heard, I don't know, you heard this too, John, that it all got a little bit hardcore, this week's challenge.
Yes, I had some really juicy stuff going around the office about your exploits.
What do you mean?
Well, like, for example, Otis, that you drunk too many cocktails and were feeling a bit ill.
Well, and
yeah,
Susie, you've been luring strange men into deserted warehouses.
No, it wasn't like...
I heard, right, that you'd vacuum-packed Otis in a kind of cling film thing and you'd made him the central filling in a huge, great, big Gadget Show challenge love sandwich.
Stop. You're making it up now.
All right, I did make that bit up. But the point I'm trying to make is that you've turned this week's challenge into a tale of debauchery and decadence, when all we tried to get you to do was review these things, smartphones, to find out if these are now so advanced that basically they're the only gadget you need.
You've never tried to lure me into a deserted warehouse.
We wanted to find out whether a modern smartphone can do everything you need.
Or are you better off getting specific tech for specific jobs? Time to find out. I've got my netbook, I've got 3G connectivity, I've got a media player, I've got a phone, and I've got an iPad.
Yeah, you're right. It's like an armoury. You're going to need an arsenal to store it in and a very big rucksack. Check me out. I'm taking the smartphone option.
John would be our referee in the first challenge, testing our text connectivity and ease of use. But why the cocktail bar?
I'm going to set you 3 tasks. Each time you lose a task, you're going to have to drink a horrible and rather disgusting cocktail. Aha! The service station bog!
It may have been non-alcoholic, but it was very smelly.
And what you need to do is be the first to find, download and play Margaritaville. 3, 2, 1, go!
As champion of the smartphones, my first weapon of choice was Apple's iPhone 3GS. With direct access to Apple's iTunes store via 3G or Wi-Fi connection, it's about as good as it gets for downloading music.
I have the Arcos 5, a fully functional media player which can also download music via Wi-Fi. But the cocktail bar didn't have Wi-Fi. All wasn't lost though. I booted up my netbook, which was 3G capable, and got online.
Me and my iPhone had a strong 3G signal and was streaming ahead.
My dinky Asus netbook comes with 1 gig of RAM, 160 gig hard drive, a built-in webcam, and thankfully 3G connectivity. Accessing iTunes Store.
Whatever.
And its 3G capabilities got me back into the race, or so I thought.
I've just bought it. I'm now waiting for it to download, which shouldn't take too long.
I've got a couple of minutes remaining.
A couple of minutes left? There it is. It's playing. Thank you.
No way!
Sounds like Jimmy Buffett to me.
And victory to me.
And to me and my separate tech, the service station bog.
Got to get these solid bits.
Oh!
That is disgusting.
I was 1 game up. This was going well. On to round 2.
The Scabby Nuns Burst Abscess. And for this round, I want you to email me the lyrics to the first chorus of the Margarita song you've just downloaded. And for this round, you're not allowed to go online. So, 3, 2, 1, go!
Having been denied internet access and the ability to simply cut and paste, this test was all about the interface and how good it was. We both still had the song on our devices. All we had to do was listen and type. I could use the full QWERTY keyboard on my Asus to transcribe it very quickly.
OK, this is taking long.
But I was struggling.
Oh, no, I've got to go back. Ah!
Shut up! Shut up!
Quiet.
Even though the iPhone touchscreen is easily the best and most responsive on the market, it's just never going to be as fast as a full-size keyboard.
That's good. Ooh, I'm going to check. I'm going to go to the email.
Sending that.
You're sending it?
I've sent it, John. I've sent it.
Yep. I've got it.
Put it up.
Ooh, there's a
I bet the lyrics are wrong.
Wasting away in Margaritaville, search for my last shaker of salt. Some people claim there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault.
Loser. Ha! My tech had won. Cheers, Otis.
Nice and congealed at the top, Otis. A bit chunky, some nice crispy bits.
Sorry, I'm not drinking anymore. I think that's it up. Okay.
Oh, I'm chewing something now.
The score stood at 1-1 as we headed into the deciding round, and with another disgusting cocktail being mixed for the loser,
The fungal frappuccino.
I was fully focused on winning.
What I want you to do is make me a margarita using an app or an online how-to video. Go!
Right, that's going to be...
My netbook was still connected via 3G, and I was actually surprised just how quickly I was able to find the video that I wanted.
How to make a margarita cocktail. Perfect.
I'd gone down another path, taking advantage of the brilliant Apple App Store.
Here we go.
While Otis was still searching, my video had actually started streaming.
iBartender. Brilliant.
I quickly found the iBartender app, which boasts a large selection of recipes of all the popular cocktails.
Oh, wow, this has got loads of drinks available.
My luck was in. The netbook's 10-inch LED backlight screen enabled me to watch and listen easily while mixing.
But Susie was not having it all her own way.
I'm not quite sure why it's still buffering, though.
Her instructional video was not streaming smoothly, and that was slowing her down. My app gave me a clear list of instructions, but the small screen was a hindrance in these conditions. To win, I had to shake like I'd never shaken before.
Come on, Otis.
Woo! Although the streaming had been frustratingly slow, I still had this one in the bag.
2, 1. Down the hatch, John. Oh, yeah!
Yes! No! No! Yes. And of course, Susie, that means you win this round and indeed this part of the challenge. And Otis, you get to try this noxious, disgusting creation.
Great.
Down the hatch.
This is going to be the worst thing I've ever tasted.
I couldn't believe it. Susie's tech had beaten me in my smartphone. It's enough to make a chap sick.
Oh, the names of those cocktails. Disgusting.
Do they taste as disgusting as they look?
Jason, they were vile.
He was genuinely retching over those cocktails. But we did learn something, at least, from the challenge.
Yeah, we did. We've learned that the mobile phone has come a long way in the last few years. I mean, when Gadget Show started, you guys were going on about convergent devices.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect example of that.
Yeah, but what's great is that this year we're starting to see its rivals threaten that supremacy by getting better.
Yeah. Yes, that being said, my smartphone wasn't smart enough for me to win this part of the challenge. Susie is one up, but it's still all to play for. I shall have my revenge.
And straight after the break, John will be seeing stars and quite a few planets as well, hopefully, when he checks out the best gadget telescopes you can buy.
And I reached for the sky and then video it, testing high-end, high-def camcorders in a very mad stunt plane.
Welcome back. Now I want to talk to you about telescopes. These are truly quite wonderful gadgets. As ever with tech, though, getting a good telescope will make the whole experience a lot more rewarding. So, if you're now thinking that gazing at some celestial bodies sounds exciting, which is the best telescope to buy? Well, I've been doing some testing to find out. For my stargazing mission, I'd arranged a trip to La Palma in the Canary Islands, home to Europe's largest optical telescope. But just days before setting off, that Icelandic volcano with the really long name erupted, and the resulting ash clouds completely scuppered my travel plans. So in the end, I went to a field near Bristol. There I'd arranged to meet Will Gator, news editor of the Sky at Night magazine. So, Will, these are my 3 telescopes, all supposedly aimed at an amateur like me. What do you think our chances are of seeing anything with them tonight?
Well, John, I think you've got a great selection of telescopes here, and of course lots to see tonight.
Most notably, there was a full moon, so we selected that as our test object and kicked off with the Meade DS2080AT, a refractor telescope which uses lenses to focus the image onto the eyepiece.
The first thing we need to do is align it to the night sky, so for that we're going to need darkness.
OK, lights off, please. Having entered the time and date, the computer-controlled mount automatically turned to point at 2 reference stars. Then, to verify our exact location, all we had to do was manually centralise each star in the eyepiece.
It's told us that alignment was successful, so now, hopefully, it should be able to navigate to pretty much anything in its database in the night sky.
There are 1,400 objects stored in the Meade's database, but we went straight for the moon. And it's definitely there. That is definitely the moon. And once found, the motorised mount continually moved to track it.
You could leave this for a little while and come back to it, and it should still be pointing at the moon.
And obviously makes this little noise all the time, doesn't it?
That's right.
It's not going to ruin your star party.
It's like R2-D2, it just sits around there.
And the 80mm aperture lens produced a fairly good image.
This is a really nice view, and I think it's for the size of the telescope, it's a really nice view of the moon.
It's a bright image, it's got quite a lot of contrast, it's fairly sharp. But I had a feeling there was better to come as we moved on to the Celestron Nexstar 4SE. This is a compound telescope that uses lenses and mirrors to produce an image.
To align it, all we need to actually do is point it at 3 different objects in the sky. Now, we don't need to know what those objects are, so it's good for a beginner.
Having centred 3 random stars using the red alignment dot in the finder, the Celestron consults its database of 40,000 objects to work out exactly where you are.
Yes, we've done it. Brilliant. So now we're set up, we're aligned, we're ready to explore.
Yes, even without actually knowing what anything is in the sky.
That's right.
Brilliant. We set it to look at the moon and immediately noticed an improvement on the mead. It's much quieter, I notice.
Yeah, it is quite.
Yeah, in terms of its tracking and its alignment. And the image quality was superior, partly thanks to more light coming through the larger 102mm aperture.
Got a great view now, some really bright craters and the lovely smoother, darker seas on the moon's surface. It's a great view, have a look through.
And it's a bigger, brighter image, definitely, and a sharper one, I think. So the Celestron was our favourite thus far, but would our final contender, this Skywatcher Explorer Reflector Telescope, be any better? This uses a mirror to reflect light entering its 200mm aperture. It's a bit of a whopper in comparison, but it doesn't come with any navigational aids, and I've got a feeling I might need some advice on how to grapple with it. Unlike the other two, there's no motorised mount or computer database, so it's a lot more hands-on. So I'd have to use it with a chart.
Yeah, and it's a great way actually to learn your way around the night sky. It can be a great way to get into astronomy.
Plus, the Skywatcher lets you explore deep space because its larger 200mm aperture captures much more light than the other two. But I did have one concern having manually locked onto the moon. I mean, the other two were both tracking the objects automatically. How quickly does it go out of frame?
Well, you'd be surprised how fast it actually moves if you watch it, and over the course of a few minutes, it really does zip across the field of view. With this sort of telescope, because it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the computer gadgetry, you would actually have to make small adjustments to keep it in the frame.
Will and I agreed that the Skywatcher provided the brightest images of the lot, but they weren't necessarily the sharpest. I'm not actually convinced it's a better image, though, than the Celestron.
No, I think I'd agree.
It doesn't necessarily seem quite as optically precise. And so to the G ratings. The Mead gets 2 Gs. Despite being the cheapest, it does offer a computer database and motorised mount, but the image lacked a bit of size and clarity. The Skywatcher gets 3 Gs. It lets you see the furthest and produces the brightest images. However, the need for continual manual alignment may bother the beginner. Finally, the Celestron gets 4 Gs. It's the easiest to align, the nicest to use, and produce the most satisfying images of the 3.
Finding the best tech at the best prices for you is at the very heart of everything we do here at the Gadget Show. And nowhere is that philosophy truer than on our website, 5.tv/Gadget Show. In our Best Buys section, we have recommendations of pretty much every type of gadget on the market, for pretty much every budget. You'll find our Best Buy suggestions in pride of place at the centre of our homepage. And hopefully, whatever tech you're looking to buy, you'll find what you want in Best Buys.
All right, guys, I've got something really cool to show, but first, Susie, do that thing you do with the lights.
Oh, it's been upgraded. You ready?
Ooh, clap this time.
Clap, you see the clap works.
It's the new model.
One
Upgrade.
day. OK, look, what do you think this is?
Some travel straighteners from 1974.
Nice. It's called the Mealy iPhone projector. Now, it'll project content, video content, and images and such from your iPhone, but also from your iPod or your BlackBerry even. Basically, anything that outputs video you can put into it. But I'll try it with the iPhone. Let's whack this in here.
Oh, do you need a screen?
Yeah, I need a screen, which in this case can be...
a screen.
There you go.
And so imagine you're on a train, you've got 4 people, you want to look at your presentation or watch a movie or something.
Oh, look, you can get it up there as well.
Yeah, 70 inches it'll go up to, which is quite considerable.
That's not bad, is it? Look at that.
No, I mean, most of these tiny projectors now that are all sort of coming to market, they do require low light, I think, to really make the image crisp and sharp.
Very good.
It's quite clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
OK, next up is this week's Top 5, and I can't tell you how excited I was when I found out I'd be testing skates. Thank you. Could you just put your face on my face?
That would be weird.
Aggressive inline skating is an incredibly popular extreme sport, but in order to stand a chance of pulling off amazing tricks and stunts like these, you need to make sure you've got the right type of skates.
Yeah, these feel really good.
I got together the latest and greatest in aggressive inline skates and brought them to this skate park to test them out. I enlisted the help of pro skaters Nick and Jake, who've got 24 years of aggressive skating experience between them.
That was a 720, man.
There's nobody better equipped to help me test the shock absorption, grinding ability and all-round manoeuvrability of the skates before finally deciding on my top 5.
How does he do that stuff?
At number 5, it's the Valo TV2s. These are great mid-price skates for all skill levels. The liner has increased ankle padding and neoprene to protect your toes, and a lower cuff, giving the skates more flexibility.
Yeah, give it some.
Their 4 6mm wheels and ultra-durable sole plates make these boots perfect for grinding. At number 4, it's the Rollerblade Solo Eras. These are what are known as anti-rockers, which means that they have a bigger 60mm wheel front and back and 2 smaller 47mm harder wheels in the middle, so you get a smoother slide when grinding.
First foot in the boot, how does it fare?
Feels really comfortable, and I think what really makes a difference is those big 60mm wheels.
This skate is moulded to maximise performance, stability and durability without being too heavy. At number 3 are the USD Classic Throne Demetrius George, or Killer Bees to you and me.
Yeah, you see, I could do that.
These are freestyle skates, which means they only have 2 wheels with a block in between. This gives the skater more freedom of movement when grinding.
Certainly, so far, the most manoeuvrable boots I've tried on.
They're super quick and very solid. At number 2, it's the Shadow Stockwell Blues. These unconventional skates are actually sneakers with a skate skeleton that you clip your feet into.
Forget the fact that these are going to magically transform into inline aggressive skates. I'm loving these old-school high tops. They're like old-school breakdancing shoes, don't you think?
Like the rollerblades, these skates have the anti-rocker setup with extra shock absorbers under the foot straps for comfort and stability.
It's really nice because it's really tight on your foot, so you can skate really fast, do high jumps, and it's still there.
And at number 1 aggressive inline skate is the Rems Haffey 2.0. These skates are designed to be ready to use as champion skater Chris Haffey would want them straight out of the box. He's thought to be the best skater in the world.
They bounce.
They are bouncing, and that makes them very comfortable. They're just like dancing shoes. I feel like I've got spats on.
They're V-cut at the back, which allows more freedom of foot movement.
Man, these things are just great.
Theoretically allowing you to jump even higher.
They feel like not like air trainers, you know, that you used to play basketball.
That's right, it makes me want to jump off something really high. And
they also have a rear lacing system which allows you to adjust the skate for optimal comfort.
I jinxed him, you see.
Right, time for another short break now, but after that, Otis and I face the second part of our smartphone challenge, where we find ourselves chained up and left to rot in a deserted warehouse. Can tech save us? Well, only time will tell.
And I test the best high-def camcorders around by using them to shoot some of the most ridiculously brilliant stunt flying I've ever seen.
Welcome back. Now, I hope you've had a chance to check out this. It's the Gadget Show magazine.
It's the first ever Gadget Show magazine, and it's still available in shops.
Yeah, it's got all the stuff that you'd expect from the Gadget Show, except, weirdly, it's in print form.
Yeah, so it's got classic tech predictions, interviews and behind-the-scenes sneak previews.
All for a £5.
Now it's time to return to this week's challenge.
Yeah, and this week's challenge was between me and that sexy dude at the end of the sofa.
Thank you, Susie. Yeah. My challenge was to prove that all you ever need is one of these, a smartphone, because it's so packed full of tech, it's the only thing you'll ever need.
Yeah, and my challenge was to prove Otis wrong. So I had at my disposal any piece of tech I wanted apart from a smartphone.
So Susie had won the first part. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Girlfriend. And it was now up to Otis and his smartphone to play catch-up. So, seconds out, round 2.
We began the second part of our challenge with no idea where we were being taken.
Let's play I Spy.
I love I Spy.
I'll go first. I Spy my classic beginning with B.
Blindfold! I Spy with my little eye, something beginning with B.
Blindfold?
No.
Black?
Yes!
Oh, I think we've exhausted it.
Yeah, I think that's over now.
Where are we?
Are we getting out?
Eventually, we arrived at a secret location where we were bundled out of the car, still blindfolded. We found ourselves inside a deserted warehouse, and as soon as my eyes had adapted back to the light, I had another shock. Jason.
You don't know where you are, you're tied up, and you're going nowhere fast. Oh, and there are 2 vats of nasty gooey stuff above your heads. Now listen, to get yourselves out of this predicament, you can't use your phone to call or text. You've got to use your tech, though, in some way to get yourselves out. First one out gets the pleasure of dropping goo on their opponents. Good luck to you both.
Well, how are we meant to get out of here?
We don't even know where we are.
So we needed help, but first we needed to know where we were being held.
For this test, I'd been equipped with the HTC Legend, an Android powerhouse of a smartphone that packs a 600 MHz processor. It comes with Wi-Fi and 3G connectivity and a built-in GPS sensor. Handy. Using my smartphone's GPS and because the warehouse had a glass roof, my location could be established.
So, I see you still got your big clunky netbook there.
Yeah, but I've had an idea.
I didn't need GPS. I could use my access to get onto Google Maps.
Wait, this might work.
Google Maps incorporates a function called My Location, which analyses Wi-Fi hotspots. I'd found a nearby Wi-Fi connection and I was able to establish pretty accurately where I was. And by using Google Street View, I was able to work out roughly which building I was trapped inside.
That could be it.
It was getting late, it was cold and dark, and with that goo lurking above my head, I really wanted to be rescued now. Then I had a brainwave. I could Twitter for help. By downloading TweetDeck, I was easily able to manage tweets from my 43,000 Twitter followers.
I realised that Twitter was also my best hope of escape.
I've got it. Come here. Here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to use Twitter. Hello. If I download Seismic for the HTC, it actually uploads my location with every tweet.
Seismic is a downloadable mobile application that lets people tweet from their smartphones and also comes with loads of handy extras like geotagging.
Okay, great. I've downloaded it, so now all I've got to do is sign in and send out an SOS.
When switched on, the geotagging option automatically pasted a link to my exact location on Google Maps. Anyone reading my tweets could simply click on the link and see precisely where I was. Genius!
Right, I've sent out a tweet with the location attached. Here we go. Now, my issue is Susie has a fair number more followers than I do, but I'm hoping mine are serious. Get the cameraman to help. No! I don't need
Mine are serious, thank you very much.
Well,
I'll tell you how serious they are.
Who's coming?
They're retweeting Save Susie, Save Susie.
Having a larger screen than Otis was a massive advantage. I used keywords to filter my replies into separate columns, and that meant I could quickly see and respond to multiple messages. I now had the upper hand.
Look at this. They're all retweeting it. They're already talking about
Are
it
you?
in literally minutes now. This is instant. It's just fantastic. Look at all these people that are talking about Save Susie.
After only getting daft replies, I knew I had to rethink my dilemma.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and add a picture.
Seismic also allows you to add photos to tweets. Maybe a follower would recognise the interior design and get to me quicker.
Otis had given me an idea. I had an inbuilt camera, and by using Ustream, a web-based service that streams a live video broadcast, my followers could actually see me in real time.
Please help me. This is a Gadget Show challenge, and I'm stuck in a warehouse.
We're both stuck in a warehouse.
In Floodgate Street, in Digbeth in Birmingham.
And
you need
Otis
to come and help
is here
me.
too.
You got anybody coming, Otis?
Don't know. I was feeling like Billy No Mates, and although there was a lot of activity on my Twitter page, I was having huge problems managing and filtering it all on just a phone.
But as time dragged on, I was getting desperate.
Help! I'm just going for random passers-by.
That'll work.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Help!
And then, when I thought my life couldn't get any worse, I heard a car door slam.
Hello?
Hello? Oh my goodness!
Hey!
Save me, Otis!
Oh,
Quick!
No!
Did you get it on Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter.
What's your name?
Ben.
Ben, I love you. Thank you so much. Oh, is that my footprint? Oh, yes, I think it is. Oh! Hi!
Hello.
Hello, did you come to save me or Otis?
You.
Success! Me and my tech had won. Convergence and smurgence. Ha! Not so smart now, Mr. Dealey.
Pleased to meet you.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go on. That is so grim.
Well, I said,
Thank you for saving me.
Do you know what? Despite losing, I was very impressed with the capabilities of the legend.
I think it's incredible, and as smartphones go, that's at the top of its game. To think that you were doing all of those different tasks with a device that you can fit in your back pocket is extraordinary, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the problem that you had was you were against this, so I had a proper full keyboard, had great resolution on the screen, and I could follow exactly what was going on all of the time.
Yeah. Despite that, I know you've won this challenge, but I still have my pride to salvage, and that I will do, hopefully, in the final part of this challenge.
Yes, but I'd like to, as the winner of this week's challenge, spread some of my love and glory to you, because I'm going to invite you into the Gadget Show winners' enclosure. It's time for this week's competition.
Yeah, we need your full focus for this, so pause the cat, all right? Put the dog, I don't know, into standby, and tell Grandma, say, look, Grandma, like that, so we can get the full focus of the rest of the family. All right.
This week, we're giving away an amazingly huge pile of tech designed to take care of your every gadget need.
Yes, and be warned, because if you do win this week's competition, you're sure to have an expression that will resemble something like this. Here comes the long list.
You can win a week's holiday for 4 people, including flights and full board to Florida, with VIP passes to Universal Studios and Busch Gardens.
A combat flying experience, including close formation in Ultimate High's Bulldog aircraft. And the HD camcorder that comes out top in Otis's flying test coming up next in the show.
From John's test, the Celestron Nexstar 4 SE telescope.
A smartphone of your choice, plus 50 quid's worth of free calls a month for a year. A TomTom Start, a Canon Legria camcorder, an Asus EPC Seashell netbook, a Pentax Optio i10 compact camera, and a pair of Rems Haffy 2.0 skates from Jason's Top 5.
A 42-inch plasma TV for your sitting room, a 32-inch LCD TV for your bedroom, a 16-inch LCD TV for your kitchen, a Sky HD package for a year plus dish and decoder.
A Blu-ray player with 15 Blu-ray movies and a 5.1 surround sound speaker system.
A Nintendo Wii, a Wii Fit Plus, a high-end gaming PC, a DSi XL, a MacBook laptop, and a Canon PixMart printer.
An Xbox 360, a year's subscription to Xbox Live, a PS3, a PSP Go, a Pyromac gaming chair, and 15 games for all consoles.
An Apple iPad, an iPhone 3GS, an iPod Nano, an iPod Touch, a B&W Zeppelin iPod dock.
A GorillaPod magnetic tripod, a Panasonic compact digital camera, a Sanyo Exacti waterproof camcorder, and a Flip Video Ultra HD.
A Surefire E1 backup torch, a Marin Bolinas Ridge mountain bike, a Roberts Ecologic 2 DAB radio, and a pair of Salomon Cosmic walking boots.
A Dura 9 coffee machine, a Magimix food processor, a Dyson Ball vacuum cleaner, a Philips juicer, and an Oral-B electric toothbrush.
A Yogi Gatekeeper Pico, a Jawbone Noise Assassin.
A Cobb barbecue, an Aladdin Challenger flask, and a pair of Skullcandy TI headphones.
A copy of Windows 7, a D-Link Wi-Fi router, an Amazon Kindle e-reader, and a Samsung NC10 netbook. It's a prize fund worth well in excess of £22,000. And to be in with a chance of winning the lot, you'll need to know the answer to this question.
Who has presented The Sky at Night since it started over 50 years ago? Is it A, Patrick Kielty? Is it B, Sir Patrick Moore? Or is it C, Patricia Arquette?
To enter, call 0904 1616 555 or text A, B or C to 63555 or send your answer, name and contact telephone number on the back of a postcard or a sealed envelope to Gadget Show 15, PO Box 46556 London N10WW. Calls cost £1.50 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may vary and from mobiles will cost considerably more. Text costs £1.50 plus one message at standard network rates. For rules, go to 5.tv/win. Lines close at midday on Monday the 17th of May and 3 days later for postal entries. Good luck.
Right, time now for some hardcore gadget testing. Digital camcorders are one of the fastest growing areas of tech development at the moment. Top-end consumer camcorders have now become so good that the line between professional and consumer kit has become somewhat blurred. But what if you want to get yourself the very best? Which tech should you buy? Well, keep it here. I've done a bit of testing.
This is Nigel Lamb. Nigel is a pilot and he likes to take his plane out for a quick spin over the countryside.
Except Nigel's idea of a quick spin over the countryside probably isn't the same as yours and mine.
He's a competitor in the Red Bull Air Race World Championships, possibly the world's most daring and spectacular sport, where aircraft are timed through tight, twisty slalom courses at speeds approaching 250 miles per hour. I've been given 3 high-end, high-definition camcorders to test. One from Sony, one from Canon, and the last from Panasonic. And yes, I was going to film Nigel from another plane, pushing me and the camcorders to our limits. The first camera I'd be testing was the Sony HDR XR520. It's the smallest of the three, but still packs a mighty punch.
It's got a 12 times optical zoom and a 240 gig internal memory, which is good to record up to 30 hours 1080 HD.
And there are some clever features, like a GPS and mapping facility.
It also means that you can tag your films, so when you're looking back on them, you know where you've been, exactly where you've been actually.
But there was a small problem when it came to picture quality.
Sony struggles to focus when new objects come into play.
However, once the focus steadied down, the camera started to produce some great results of Nigel's breathtaking maneuvers. What I hadn't counted on, however, was my pilot deciding to join in the action.
Oh! Whoa! You said he was gonna do a loop, not us! Oh my God!
Still, at least this allowed me to check out the image stabilization. The Sony uses a built-in motion sensor to detect camera shake, and then small motors instantly move the lens elements in the opposite direction to keep things looking steady. As you can see, this produced brilliantly smooth results.
Oh, that was horrible.
So, I was impressed with the simple, compact design and clever GPS system, but slightly disappointed with the speed of focus. Next up, Canon's offering the HFS-21.
The Canon is by far the bulkiest of the three cameras, and it only comes with a measly 64 gig internal memory. However, you can boost this using memory cards. Now, compared to the other two, it only comes with 10 times optical zoom, but it does have a gorgeously large screen, so you can see in a lot of detail what you're shooting.
And by touching a specific object on the screen, the camera will automatically focus and expose on that object.
Yeah, very happy with that. That's brilliant.
The Canon's image stabilization system works on similar principles to the Sony's and proved equally effective as my pilot went into another burst of stomach-churning turns.
Whoa! Why do I agree to do these things? How many times are we rolling?
So, although being down on memory, the Canon still produced great shots. Finally, the Panasonic HDC HS700, which, like the Sony, also has a 12 times optical zoom and 240 gig of storage, but its biggest selling point is its 3MOS sensor.
Now, the 3MOS separates light into its three constituent colors, red, blue, and green.
It's a system broadcast quality cameras use, so I was hoping for some amazing images, especially when we started going loopy again.
We are very close to each other. Very close.
Unfortunately, I was unable to find this out or explore the other features of the Panasonic because as my pilot went into another loop, this happened.
Oh! It's given up on me. So this camera didn't like being turned upside down.
I turned the camera back on and tried again.
It's gone again. The Panasonic doesn't like G-force, not at all.
And there was worse news to come because the recording error had not only stopped me filming the stunt, but had also wiped off all the footage I'd recorded previously. Effectively, my camera's hard drive had crashed, so I had no way to assess its performance. There was nothing left to do but land and give the G ratings for the two cameras which had worked. The Canon gets 3 Gs. It produced great pictures and I loved the quick touch autofocus system, but it was slightly let down by its size and the small internal memory. And the winner with 4 Gs is the Sony. It's compact, easy to use and has a clever mapping facility. Picture quality is excellent with a slightly slow autofocus being the only disappointment.
Right, time for the last break in the show now, but after that, Susie and Ortis' smartphone challenge reaches its climax.
Allow me.
And it's got everything. Tension,
I can only hope that I get there before Susie does.
big cats,
Video of the tigers!
Otis screaming, and Susie doing one of her girly runs.
Welcome back. Now it's time to return to this week's gripping challenge between Susie and Otis.
Yeah, only it's not really that gripping, is it? Because I've already won the challenge, because there's 3 parts and I've won the first 2. Woo!
Way to bring down the excitement, Suze.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What you're not taking into account, Susie, is the fact that the O-Dog ain't no quitter.
That's him.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. It's all about the tech. That's the point I'm making, OK? The
Oh, yeah.
question we're trying to answer is, has the smartphone become so ubiquitous, so convergent? Can it do so many things that actually renders all of these separate gadgets useless?
What Jason's trying to say is the smartphone all you need?
With loads of my Twitter fans coming to my rescue and Otis getting gooed, I'd slept very well knowing I was 2 challenges up on the boy.
I'd had a rubbish night's kit, but tomorrow was another day. And here it was, if you see what I mean. I had one more chance for smartphone-assisted glory.
And I was still aiming to rain on his parade with an array of other clever tech.
Ah. Allow me.
All right.
For the last part of the challenge, you have to find your way to Drayton Manor theme park.
Once there, you must photograph Apocalypse and a train in Thomasland.
Great. Then you must get a video of a live tiger.
The winner will be the first person to get the shots and post them all online.
The loser will need to go on whatever ride the winner chooses.
So the first thing to do was to get to Drayton Manor Park, and that meant getting out the sat-navs. I chose a TomTom Start with simplified menus giving easy access to the safety camera database. It also has thousands of points of interest pre-installed. But for this mission, its advantage was being simple, quick and easy to operate, which got me off to a quicker start than the O-Dog.
Perfect, I'm off.
For this test, my smartphone of choice was the Nokia N97 Mini, which has everything you would expect from a smartphone, including a 5-megapixel digital camera with dual LED flash, which shoots high-res photos and video. It also has a rather useful, nifty pop-out keyboard.
Come on, Susie's got a drop on me already. Set destination.
Free to download on Nokia phones, OV Maps offers turn-by-turn navigation, similar to that in standalone sat-navs.
Drayton Manor Family Theme Park, that's it. Beautiful.
As I headed towards Tamworth, I was quite happy with my TomTom Start.
This isn't the biggest screen I've ever used with a sat-nav, but I actually think it's perfectly ample for what you need.
As I'd taken slightly longer to program my smartphone than Susie with her sat-nav, I was a few minutes behind. But once on the move, the vocal instructions were nice and clear.
Take the second exit onto Lorry Midway.
Really impressed with the sat-nav on the N97. Clear screen, not had a single problem, none at all.
Brilliant. Here we are, we're here. He's not here. We've got to take pictures. Come on!
Now take the exit onto Litchfield Road.
I can only hope that I get there before Susie does.
Inside the park, I had to either run around holding my netbook following a downloaded map, or easier, grab a paper one.
Can I have that? Come on! Thank you very much.
Now my first task was to take a photograph of Apocalypse.
My Nokia smartphone had done me proud, but as soon as I saw the car park, I knew I was behind. Again.
Man, she's here already.
Apocalypse, here it is. OK, so I've got to take a picture. I've chosen this Pentax 12.1 megapixel camera. There we go.
My Pentax Optio has a 5x optical zoom with a wide-angle lens, which gives a cinematic feel to video and still images.
Got it.
I might have been behind, but I did have a big advantage with no big bag of tech, allowing me to run fast like a fast running thing runs.
OK, now, I'm not going to mess around with maps because I've actually been able to download the map as a PDF file on my phone. So Apocalypse should be... Ah, there it is. Brilliant. There it is. I've got Apocalypse in my picture there. There we are. Cool. Now, I should be able to upload this really quickly, actually. I just press this icon here, and it's already uploading on its way to Flickr. Brilliant. Right, looking at the map now, I can see that the tigers are next. Video of the tigers.
Unlike Otis, I had to shoot all my images and video before uploading.
Have I gone the wrong way?
And the second photo I had to get was of the train in Thomasland.
He's in here! He's in here!
With both photos taken, I now had to find a tiger to video. Simple, really, in Staffordshire.
I've gone for this little cannon. Right, where's the zoo?
Look, look, there's Buddy after me. Hello, mate, how are you? Tigers, 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 tigers. There we are, look, 2 gorgeous tigers.
So, 1 photo and 1 video shot and uploaded using my smartphone.
YouTube, that's now uploading.
Now, next I was off to Thomasland for my final photo.
I had no idea where Otis was, but I had found a tiger. There, right in front of me. The Canon Legria camcorder is a real go-anywhere little piece of tech. It captures great-looking SD movies to a 16-gig internal flash memory and has a handy 41 times advanced zoom, allowing me to get up close and personal with the stripy one. I had all my pictures in the cam, but none of them uploaded. I now had to find one of the park's Wi-Fi hotspots, transfer my images to my computer and upload them.
And now I can upload that straight to Flickr, one touch. Brilliant. Let's go.
With my photos and videos all shot and uploaded using just 1 device, my smartphone, I'd won the challenge. All I had to do was find Susie and prove it.
Oh, look at me. Everything already uploaded.
No!
Pictures,
Show me the video.
Up on YouTube. So I have won this part of the challenge, which means...
Apocalypse! This time, the glory of a truly convergent device had won the day. But as I prepared to take my punishment, my ride was stopped.
No! To my shock, a foul was called on a technicality.
Yes, Otis. The rule stated that we had to take a photograph of a train in Thomasland. But Otis had snapped a plastic model outside Thomasland. Not the real thing. I'd won! And I decided he should sample a new ride, Maelstrom.
This is just out of order. You're lost, and it's just... I took my punishment like a gent.
Hey!
Oh, yeah, whatever. There's only one reason a judgment call was made, and that's because it's far more entertaining watching Otis lose it on a thrill ride than it is either of you.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say it's possibly one of my favourite things in the world.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. However, having said that, I mean, the smartphone is a really cool piece of tech. I mean, I could do pretty much everything I wanted to.
It was most telling in that part of the challenge as well, don't you think? Because you were running along with a big bag clunking on your shoulders, and you just had that in your back pocket, and you were almost simultaneously uploading as you were shooting your pictures and videos.
Absolutely. No, if you hadn't technically cheated in the last part of the challenge, you would have won it.
Technically cheated?
Here we go. Now, this is going to roll on for some time. So I shall say goodbye to you. See you next time.
See you next time.
See ya.
Do you want to maybe go back to the park and we can get you over the fear?
Yeah, let's do that.